What's up guys, NepentheZ here and welcome back to another episode of The Road to Glory. Today is a bit of a different episode. All we've got today is squad builder challenges. As you can tell by the title, we completed the LACAZETTE one. I've sped up the gameplay a little bit and it's still, the footage a little bit, and it's still 30 minutes long. So I've muted the game audio and put in just some copyright-free music in just for some background noise, because when like FIFA gameplay is sped up, the music just sounds retarded. So I've got rid of that. Now what you're seeing first of all is the Black Friday and Cyber Monday SBCs. Quite a few of them that we got through. They were quite easy to do. We already had all the players in the club for most of them. There were a couple where I had to go and buy one or two players, but in general it wasn't too bad. And as per usual guys, again I want to thank you for the incredible support on this series. FIFA Mobile is here guys, it's back. Let me just show you, I've got the new iPad. Look at that, looks amazing. Yeah, I've got the new iPad. This is why I couldn't do it on the other iPad. I've started recording it. It's just about getting together the footage, editing it, and then making it into a video. And I will be live streaming, probably now actually, probably at the time you're watching this, I will probably be live streaming. I'm going to be live streaming Road to Glory account. I don't know how I'm going to do it, because obviously I could just do club tours, do some stuff where I'm just selling the club, build some teams and play some games, do some bronze pack method. Always, whenever I start a video, I always have to take a deep breath. I don't know why. So I'm gonna start doing that, but I don't wanna. I don't wanna have to turn the streams into a video. That's not my idea. I want to be able to stream and have fun while I'm streaming and not worry about YouTube, and then do the other stuff for YouTube. So I don't know the formula of how I'm gonna let you guys know what happened on stream. Do I just say, okay, this is what we did, this is where we got? You know, the whole point of this is to show you guys that it can be done without spending money, and then show you how it's done without spending money. And if I start doing it all on stream, it's going to be really hard to relay some of the things that I was thinking about at the time back to you guys. So I don't know how I'm going to do that yet, but likelihood is I'm streaming right now, twitch.tv/NepentheZ. This video goes live at 10, and I'll probably be streaming from 10 for several hours, 3-4 hours or so. On top of that, if I'm not streaming anymore, don't worry about it, but I might not be streaming Road to Glory. I might just be on my main account building a team for Foot Champs. Not that I'm even qualified for Foot Champs, but might just be on the main account doing the main account things. So loads more questions. Honestly, you guys just blow me away with the quality of the questions. I've done things like this before, and after like 2 or 3 episodes, it's just always the same question and the same answer. And then with this Road to Glory, there's so much to learn for you guys and for me with Road to Glory, with FIFA, with Ultimate Team, that every time a new question's there, I'm like, wow, I didn't even think about that. So here we are. Now the first question, this was the last one that I found, but the first one that I want to read out because I think it's quite important to talk about. It says, it's from Aidan Cameron. He says, yo Nep, when are you going to spend your coins? It frustrates me that you're not buying the players, same with Nick, and are you going to start streaming regularly on Twitch? And can I make a suggestion? Inform Kante is a beast right centre mid, and Inform Depay is good. I really need to get this deep breath out, but I love you and your content. Keep up the amazing work, bro. Well, thank you for the comment, dude, and thank you for the kind words. I appreciate it. So I actually have spent a lot of coins this episode, a lot of coins. This LACAZETTE, I had already done 8 of the 20, which you'll see all of them, but I had already done 8 of the 20 before like 2-3 weeks ago, right? And the other 12 that I was looking at, it didn't seem right to do those because the players are just so expensive, and I thought maybe I'll use the upgrade, you know, the bronze to silver upgrade, and try and get some that way. I know Nick does that a lot. Or maybe I'll just hope that I just pack some through bronze pack method, or maybe I'll just wait until they come down in price and grab them like that. But 2-3 weeks later, they're still extinct. Toulouse players, Toulouse defenders just don't exist, and you need at least 3 of them. And there's a right midfield that doesn't exist as well. So it's like they're not coming down anytime soon, because anyone that wants to complete that LACAZETTE SBC is also struggling to find the players needed to do it. So I was sitting there saying to myself, as we've had Gundogan, really nice reward pack there, I was sitting there saying to myself, hey, how amazing would it be if we just waited and got it for cheap. But there is no cheap. So I did the first 8 for cheap because they were mainly gold teams with the odd silver player here or there. But the rest of the teams that were bronzes or mainly silvers with a few golds, they were just expensive. And I made my way. We've got 751,000 coins now. Throughout this episode, you're going to see me go up towards 950,000 coins, and that is through bronze pack method, genuinely, because of these squad builder challenges that kept coming out for me. You can see here I'm selling players just for stupid prices for nearly no reason. You see we're now up to 810,000. How did I get there? Well, look at what they're selling. All these bronzes are selling because they're from big leagues but obscure nations, and they were just relevant for a squad builder challenge. So I just kept making money hand over fist from these bronze packs. And it was great. I loved it. You know, this for me is why I kept all my bronze players and all my silver players. So I ended up going up to like 950 or 960,000 coins, and I thought, you know what? I want to use LACAZETTE because I did a draft to glory for my main account, and I had the Movember LACAZETTE, and I thought he was unreal. So it triggered me into wanting to get the blue LACAZETTE for the Road to Glory account at any cost. You know, I could have gone and bought a BPL striker, but what I plan to do is get the blue LACAZETTE, put him at striker, play Hazard at left forward, and play Musa Sissoko at right forward. And you might be like, wait, what? If you put a Hunter card or a Catalyst or a Hawk or something on Sissoko, he's got a decent card, like a really good card. So the plan is to do that. After that, invest in coins, and I spoke about this briefly in yesterday's episode. And by the way, for Nick's Road to Glory, Nick has an incredible team compared to me. And well, I've got some players that he doesn't have right now, like the Hazard, just the Hazard really, and maybe I think he finally got the Jonas. I think he's got the Giovinco, but I've also now got the LACAZETTE, which has cost me after doing the first 8. I can't remember how much the first 8 cost me. You'll see the prices and you'll see my record go back and forth as you look at them as well. But as after doing the first 8, it cost me about 300,000 coins to do the final 12, which is crazy. But I had to buy those players with just 8k and 10k and 6k. And do you know why I did it? Because I'm making money hand over fist this year on Road to Glory because of my rewards from Foot Champs and because of Bronze Pack Method. And the Bronze Pack Method, as I say, has always been a long-term thing. It's always about where can we go with it? What can we do with it? And in this instance, I made like 200 to 250,000 coins just because of Black Friday and Cyber Monday squad building challenges. And then I basically invested those coins into that, that blue LACAZETTE. So if I sold all the items from the packs, which I didn't, I saved most of it, I probably actually done him for free. Even though it's not for free because I did go out and buy the players, but the reason why I got those coins was from the Bronze Pack Method. So all in all, it didn't really cost me much. Like, it cost me time and patience. And yeah, my coin balance went up and my coin balance went down. But essentially I did it through the essence of the Bronze Pack Method. But because I'm making so many coins, I don't mind spending money on the special cards that I can't always get. But I'm cautious of spending money on upgrades for the team when, as mentioned yesterday, and there's another comment that we'll speak about, a very, very similar comment. As mentioned in yesterday's video, Inform, like Kante is like 20,000 coins, right? Give or take. Inform Kante is like 200 to 250,000 coins. I personally don't believe that the Inform Kante is 10 times better in terms of playing ability than the regular Kante. So I don't want to go and spend that money on him when ultimately it's just going to be a waste. And yes, I know I can resell him on and get part of that money back, maybe all of that money back, maybe I'll make profit on it. And that's where Nick's been a lot braver than I have, because he's just bought those informs and he's made a crap ton of coins on them. And fair play to him, I think if he sold up all of his informs and his players and stuff, he'd probably have like 2.5 million, maybe even 3 million coins, which is crazy good. Like I'm very, very happy for him and his series. For me, I've invested stupidly at the wrong times for these SBCs. Well, maybe not at the wrong times. I'm glad I went and got that Hazard. He cost me like 150,000 after I sold everything, but even if it had cost me 350,000 after I sold everything, it would have been the right thing for me to do at the time, because he's massive for my gameplay. He's so important for me. But ultimately, I don't know. I don't want to invest money unnecessarily on players that just aren't better than the current players that I've got, unless it's going for that superstar player. You know, like I would improve my team if I was picking up striker Sanchez for 300,000 coins instead of the striker that I've currently got. But striker Sanchez, the first striker Sanchez is like 450 and the second one is like 650. I'm not spending that much money. It's just not worth it, guys. It's not worth it. With Team of the Year around the corner, you know, a month and a half away, with the amount of prizes that I'm getting, I'm due. I'm bound to pack an incredible card at one stage or another through these 100k packs, through these Team of the Week packs, and then in 2 or so weeks time, when the new monthly rewards come out, if they do it at the same time as last month, I'm going to get 12 red cards in a month where there is an inform Aubameyang, an inform Bale, a 96 rated striker Ronaldo, an inform Neymar. There are more like the inform Yaya Toure, the inform David Luiz, the inform Kyle Walker. Like, I'm getting 12 players, 12 red cards coming. Obviously untradeable, but if I went and bought the Yaya Toure now, who's not head and shoulders better than Rooney, and then 2 weeks later I get his red card and then his black card price like craps the bed and I've lost loads of money, I would, you know, I would hate that. I would prefer to just use a Rooney. So yeah, I don't know, I'm just biding my time. There will become a point where the right player is there for the right price, and I'll pull the trigger. I'll buy it. I'll buy that player, and I'll improve my team. But right now, that's just not the case for me personally. You know, like, I'm getting to 31 and 32 wins with the team that I've got. There's not much that you can improve on there, other than my personal play a little bit here or there that could probably get me up to the 34, 35 win mark. There's not really that much to improve. Like, a better player is not going to make a difference of me getting an extra 1 or 2 wins. It might make the difference of me scoring an extra goal in 1 or 2 games, and that's it. And that's not enough to garner the extra wins. So that's kind of why I'm not spending my coins yet. But thank you for the comment. I didn't realise that would take like 12 minutes to talk about. As a Gil says, and this is the next comment, and the reason why I've read this one out is because the number thumbs up it has almost 100. It says, why aren't you building a super team yet? You have the coins for it, great, VidNet, much love. I actually don't have the coins for a super team. A super team would require Ronaldo, Bale, Messi, Neymar. Like, I can afford like 1 or potentially 2 of those 4 players, not Ronaldo and not Messi. You know, I could maybe get like Suarez or Benzema. My team, it's not a bad team. I've got 90 rated Hazard. I'm using the Player of the Month Son, the Player of the Month Sterling, and the Red Walcott, which are all great players. My midfield is incredible. Like, people sleep on the Nemanja Matic. There is not, like, people say get De Bruyne instead of Matic, get this guy instead of this guy, so take out Rooney. There's no need, man. For me personally, these players are just perfect. You know, like, I would like to get the informed Kante or the one to watch Kante at one point or another, just when I feel like the price is right. But Rooney is great. I love playing with Rooney. His stamina levels are super high. He plays really well. Matic is just a monster in the midfield, and he is required in my team. There's no one better than Matic, in my opinion. I just need a better version of Matic. That would be great. The defence is just unreal. I had considered buying David Luiz, and I've been back and forth about it in my mind. I tweeted that I was going to buy him, then I tweeted that I wasn't going to buy him, then I tweeted that I was going to buy him again, then I talked in a video about why he's not worth the money, and then I tweeted about buying him again, and ultimately he's not worth the money. And the reason being is because when you compare him to Eric Bailly, and in fact, let's do it. I hate doing this because you can never see what I'm looking at, but let's compare. So Chris Smalling stays because Chris Smalling is just an absolute machine, right? When you compare David Luiz to Eric Bailly, now in terms of just defensive, like the defensive capabilities, Eric Bailly has 6 more pace, 1 less physical, and 4 less defending, right? But of that defending, he also has very similar work rates, and he's almost like they're basically the same height. Of the defending stats, when you look at tackles, the sliding tackle, 86 for Bailly, 88 for David Luiz. The standing tackle, 83 for Bailly, 89 for David Luiz. So his standing tackle's like, it's a little better, like, you know, it's quite a nice boost on the standing tackle. In terms of the other things that are relevant, acceleration, Bailly destroys him. Agility, David Luiz has a bit more agility, but I don't think agility is actually that relevant. Bailly has more balance. Jumping is basically the same. David Luiz has a lot more reactions. Their stamina is identical, and Bailly has a bit more strength. Bailly has more interceptions. The aggression is near identical, and then positioning and vision are irrelevant for centre-backs. For heading, David Luiz has considerably better heading. So of all the things that we've just mentioned there, you know, marking is 82 for Bailly, 84 for David Luiz. Of all the things we mentioned, other than like heading and a little better stand tackle, defensive-mindedly and for pace, they're basically the same, or Bailly is marginally better or marginally worse. Like, so when you look at, I could pick up Eric Bailly for 20,000 coins or David Luiz for 180,000 coins. I'm not spending that much extra coins on a player who is essentially marginally better. It's just not worth it in my opinion. So in terms of my defense for a super team, my defense is pretty good. The only two players I would like to change is Luke Shaw. Not that there's anything wrong with him. I think he does a good job, but every now and then, you know, his pace is a problem. And I'm tempted to upgrade Jack Butland to Hugo Lloris or Courtois or Petr Cech, but at the same time, I don't know if I want to, because even though Butland's low rated and I can get a super high rated goalkeeper in there, he does such a good job, man. He never lets me down. He just never lets me down. So I don't know. That's why I haven't built a super team though. Next is Michael Bell says, I don't know why people hate on Nep, as it's not his fault the market went up in price, and it will not just be you who lost coins or could get less value for money. The entire community has the same thing happen to them. Sorry for the rant, but had to say, PS, love the content, Nep, and hope for the good pack luck and foot champs, and you're right about the market, best FIFA so far. Well, thank you for the kind words, and that had a lot of thumbs up. And whilst I do agree with your sentiment, it's not my fault that the market went up. I do understand why people get frustrated, because everyone's looking for the best for their coins. And when any YouTuber, whether it's me, whether it's Basin, whether it's L-Dog, whether it's Castro, Nick, a forum, anywhere you see any market advice, people take that market advice and assume it's just correct without doing any knowledge, you know, without doing any research for themselves. They just assume that that person is correct. So I understand why people would say, I did what you said and I came out worse for it. But trust when I say things, I'm doing them too. So if I screwed up, I didn't just screw up for you, I screwed up for me. But what I will say in the future, specifically for market advice, do your own research. Get the opinions of the many, not of the few. Don't just listen to one or two YouTubers and be like, well, 2 people said the same thing, so it must be that. Go and get the opinions of 10 people. Get the opinions of the forum. Go do your own research. Look at Footbin, track the prices, and go back to last year and track last year's prices and see how the market fluctuated, because it will be very helpful for you to do your own, your own research. Jack Carter says, how do you change player in the game? Left bumper or with the stick? Because I find myself switching to the wrong player and conceding goals. Thanks, Nepal, if you read this. I change with both left bumper and the analog stick. I have my auto switching set to fully manual, right? I want to be the only person that switches player in this game. However, there are still occasions where the game decides that it switches the player for me, which is unbelievably frustrating. That I will typically use the right analog stick unless I'm attacking and have a set piece and I'm switching through the players with the left bumper. And then there will be occasions where no matter what direction I put on the right analog stick, no matter how I try and get to a player, it will just jump him. Like, I'll go from the left centre back. I'll like, for example, I want to control the right centre back. I'm on the the left back. So I flick the right analog stick down. Boom, moves to the left centre back. I flick it down again, and it doesn't go to this guy here that I want. It goes to the right back, and I'm like, wait, hold on. So I flick it up again, and then it goes to the CDM. So now I flick it like exactly left where that guy is, and it goes back to the left centre back. So I flick it down again, and it goes back to the right back, and it just ignores that player. It's like he doesn't exist in this game world anymore. And on those occasions, I then start pressing left bumper because it typically will take me to the player that I want. But yeah, I use both, and it, like, player switching is the reason why I concede certain goals, and it's also the reason why my opponents concede certain goals, and it's the reason why you guys concede certain goals. It's one of those things in the game that they just never quite got perfect, which is a bit disappointing, but hey, it's how it is. Kleber Salas says, Nep, how do you think chem style should be used to improve weak stats or to make good stats even better? For example, Inform Gonalons, who has great defending and physical, would it be better to a Maestro Chem style or a Sentinel? Please answer. Well, I would put Anchor on Gonalons. I think the question you're asking is a little bit difficult to answer as a broad spectrum. I think for me personally, if a player has great stats in several key areas, I will try and boost those stats. However, if somebody had like 85 pace and 85 shooting and then 70 everywhere else, I would boost that pace and shooting. Why the hell not? But if someone had, say, 74 pace, 90 defending, 90 physical, and 74 passing, I would probably give them a catalyst and improve pace and passing to bring other stats up to scratch. It just depends what you want the player for and how you want to use them. Like, I would say, like for example, Gareth Barry has low pace, like 42 pace, and people are like, oh, put a catalyst on him or put a shadow on him, get him up the pace. What's the point? You're turning someone with 42 pace into someone with 52 pace. It will barely be noticeable, and it'd still be too slow to be able to catch up with the superstar, the sprinters in the game. So, like, you literally, for me, whether I boost their good stats or improve their weak stats is on a player-to-player basis and who they are and where they play. I think there is a case to be made for all different variations, and it just depends on, like I say, what you have, the player that you have, and what you want out of that player. Marcus Welsh says, "Hi Nep, I've been subscribed to you since you started the channel. I appreciate that, dude. My question is, do you think that there will be a Japanese SBC? Because I also do the bronze pack method and find myself with Japanese and other cards. Should I keep them, sell them now? Please keep up the great work." I don't see why not, dude. I'm sure the Japanese players will be relevant for an SBC eventually. And if not, just keep them in your club just in case. What harm will it do? If you're still doing bronze pack method, you'll eventually get duplicate Japanese players that you can sell on anyway. So yeah, I would personally say hold on to them. I've held on to mine. Mental X99 says, "Hi Nep, I'm an old sub and been enjoying your content for years. Appreciate that, bro. Would like to know if you think Victor Moses will get Player of the Month for November, and any tips for November Player of the Month." I mean, he's looking likely at its current stage. He won the PFA Fans Player of the Month vote, which doesn't mean anything to the actual EPL Player of the Month vote, but he won that, and he seems to be everyone's go-to guy for it. So I would assume, yeah, Moses might just be the Player of the Month. In terms of investment tips for the November Player of the Month, so Moses' card is relatively low rated, right? So he's got a 77 and then an 83. So you could assume his Player of the Month will be maybe an 85, maybe an 86, possibly an 84. Quite a low-rated card, especially compared to the Hazard. So you can probably rule out needing, a stupidly high-rated team. Like, in terms of investment tips, Nigerians would be good. People from his previous clubs, like Liverpool. Wait, was he at Liverpool? Am I thinking right? Wigan. Why am I thinking Liverpool? Oh, no, he did play at Liverpool. Yeah, I was right. Ha, fancy that. I mean, he's played for West Ham, Stoke, Chelsea, Liverpool, Wigan, and is that Crystal Palace? Yeah, and Crystal Palace. So there are a lot of options for what EA could do with him, and what EA are tending to do right now is not the obvious option. Everyone's like, oh, he's Nigerian, he plays for Chelsea, he's in the BPL. So for Moses, you're going to need a team with Nigerians, a team with Chelsea players, and a BPL team. So what EA will probably do is go for a Crystal Palace team, a league, a championship team, because he played in the championship quite a bit, and an African team, and mix it up, just to stop people from actually being able to just dictate the market. So in terms of investment tips, for this month's team, this month's player, I don't know. What would I do? I would potentially go and buy an Inform Moses myself, because if you do need an Inform BPL player, he'd be a good one. If you need an Inform Nigerian, I think he's very possibly the only one. Yeah, it does look like he is the all informs. Yeah, he's the only Nigerian Inform card. Oh no, there's a worry. There's another striker as well. So there's two Inform Nigerians, but ultimately, guys, ultimately, it's so hard to say because there's so many options of what EA could do. And they could do it like Hazard, where it's like you've got to have like this amazing extensive team, or they could do it like Son, where it was like, yeah, just build a BPL team, a Korean team, and a Spurs team, and he's yours. So I don't know. I honestly don't know what the requirements may be, but in terms of like sensible investments, mid to high rated BPL players, the 83s, the 84s, Nigerian players would be quite good, and an informed Nigerian if you can get your hands on one, maybe an informed BPL player if you can get your hands on one. And some championship players. That's what I would personally go for with my investments. Jacob Bogglewith says, Nep, do you think that it's worth it to open a whole bunch of League One packs, even enough to get a couple of teams in a LACAZETTE SBC? I don't believe it's worth it, dude. The untradeable packs, you'll have to pay 3,500 to 4,000 coins per pack, right? Because that's just how much it costs. They're untradeable, and you only get 3 players. Now, of those 3 players, mostly it's likely that they're all going to be gold. And then if you do get a silver, what are the likelihood that you need that silver, or that silver is a player worth more than the 4K that you put in? Very, very slim. In my opinion, in my experience, is very, very slim. So I would say, don't do that. I think that's just a waste of coins. Honestly, I think you are just you're just burning money at that point. Jack CC says, "Hi, Nep, in your opinion, who is the best striker in the BPL on FIFA?" Great vid as always. Well, thank you for the kind words, dude. I don't know. I haven't played with many BPL strikers, which is interesting because I've got a BPL team. I've been putting wingers at striker. I've been playing with Alex Hunter or that informed Jermaine Defoe. I played a few games with Lukaku, but I haven't used Harry Kane. I haven't used Daniel Sturridge. I haven't used Sergio Aguero. I haven't used Diego Costa. I don't know. I'm sorry, bro. I wish I could answer your question. And the reason why I picked that question to talk about is because it is interesting to me that I have had a BPL team pretty much since day one. And I just haven't used the majority of the strikers. So, yeah, from what I've used, the best striker, like for me, Heung-min Son, player of the month, is probably the best player I've used at striker. Outside of that, I don't know, that Jermaine Defoe was good. Lukaku was really, really good. I enjoyed Lukaku a lot. Joseph Bider says, Nep, can you please in detail teach us how to finish? You are so clinical and it's so vital to success in FIFA 17. Game after game, I'm destroying the teams I'm coming up against but cannot score. It is not the game's fault, I know it's mine. I've tried fast strikers, I've tried target mounts, finisher strikers, I've even failed with Son. Holy crap. Keep up the great content, subscriber since day one. Well, I appreciate the support, dude. And one of the replies to this comment was that I don't show the misses, and that is like very, very true. I don't show my misses, I only show my goals scored, so it looks like I'm more clinical than I actually am. I have games where nothing goes in, dude. I have games where I'm just like, how? Like, sometimes, you know, I'll literally play a string of 5 or 6 games where the same shot type every occasion goes in, and then I'll play one game where that exact same shot type time and time again hits the post, or the keeper just gets tips to it, or it goes wide, or a block comes in, and I'm sitting there like, what's wrong? Like I'm doing the same thing. Why isn't it working now? And it's just how FIFA is, man. You know, it's just one of those days. In terms of like how I finish, I put a lot of power on my driven shots. Like I probably put 3 to 3.5 bars of power on my driven shots, and I make sure I hit them like, I don't know, like across the keeper, or like I honestly don't know. I don't know what I do, man. And I spoke about this before. I don't know what I do to finish how I finish. I think it's just a combination of my play style, the players I have, the way I get to shooting opportunities, and then the way I shoot. And I've said it before, and I will say it again. The best way for you to learn is to take the players that are in your team, put them in the arena. You know, if you use Son up front, go and choose Son for the arena. We got the Lacazette there as well, by the way. And then just practice, and figure out what works for you. Last but not least, Christos Robokos says, Nep, you said that Luiz is one of the best centre-backs in his nation, but Socrates is the best centre-back in his nation. Luiz has bad work rates compared to Socrates. And this is talking about me saying why Luiz is worth like way more than Socrates. I think you misinterpreted what I said. I said Luiz is of a popular nation and then is one of the best centre-backs in his nation, whereas Socrates, yeah, he's the best centre-back in his nation, but he's in a garbage nation. Nobody's, you know, no offence to Greek people, but nobody's playing with a full Greek team. So, people build Brazilian teams. It's just higher demand. That's all there is to it. But this, guys, is going to be the end of the video. I didn't get through all the questions as per usual, but there's plenty of videos to go forwards. But yeah, we get that Lacazette, and I just want to show you kind of like how I want to use him, or where I want to use him. I do want to play with him at striker. I want to test him out and see if I like him. I know a lot of people hated him. I want to see if I like him. I want to play him at striker. I want to play Musa Sissoko at right mid. Lacazette will be on 8 chem. Everyone else will be on 10 chem. And then I could just bring on Sterling or Son as a sub. If I don't like it, I'll revert back. But this is the end of the video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. I'm out. Peace.